Good morning. Just after 11:30 is the current time, and want to let you know that I'm in for First Alert Meteorologist Ella Dorsey. Today, we're beginning today's stream, weather where you are, with a check of current conditions, the First Alert forecast, and we'll walk you hour by hour through the rest of the day. Hopefully, you're seeing more sunshine out there. I know we are here in Atlanta, some, though, still dealing with the clouds this afternoon. So we'll talk about today's forecast and then walk you into a First Alert weather day, much colder period of weather as we get into the weekend, followed by what could be a chance of rain around the Christmas holiday. But that forecast is still pretty murky, but we're going to walk through the scenarios, give you the details here down to where you live in today's edition of Weather Where You Are. Let's start with current temperatures. No matter where you are, it is chilly outside. Again, numbers right now in the upper 40s and lower 50s. It is going to remain pretty chilly this afternoon. Maybe not as cold as some of the more recent afternoons that we have had, but definitely on the jacket-worthy side of things. Make sure you do have that jacket because it is going to be pretty chilly out there as we go through the afternoon. And then, of course, as soon as the sun sets, much chillier weather re-enters the forecast, so to speak. That temperature will drop pretty quickly after sunset. So just going to take it slow here for the first couple minutes. Let folks join in. We're streaming in multiple places right now. Atlanta News First on YouTube is one of two places where we can chat. You can ask your weather questions if you have any comments, concerns about the forecast. And I know there probably are a few questions considering that we have multiple holidays coming up. We have Hanukkah, we have Christmas, lots of travel for anybody, whether you celebrate or not, and the weather overall looking pretty decent for that lead up to Christmas, despite it being so chilly across the eastern portion of the nation. So as far as today is concerned, looking at more sunshine heading into the afternoon, this is a look at radar and temperatures. So no rain falling from any of the clouds that we are seeing. I want to go ahead and turn on those satellite. You can see that there's still quite a bit of cloud cover out there, especially across the North Georgia mountains, portions of eastern Tennessee, and then down southeast of metro Atlanta, Putnam County, Eatonton, Lake St. Clair and Oconee, there are some clouds. Fewer than we had earlier today, but still probably a few more than what we will end up with as we get into the heart of the afternoon and on into the early evening hours. Temperatures continue to gradually warm here over the next few hours. High temperatures, the peak temperature of the day probably occurring 4 p.m. or so, and we'll have highs actually still above average or warmer than normal. Yesterday we were 73 at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, 55 is the forecast high temperature in LJ, 59 in Atlanta. So that's a good 14 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. And we don't have the rain to worry about in the evening. We don't have as much wind as we had yesterday evening, kind of blowing through the city of Atlanta. 59 in LaGrange, 60 in Thomaston, 62 in Eatonton. So if you are southeast, if you're streaming from areas southeast of metro Atlanta, shot at 60 is a little greater, a little better. But if you're on the northwest side of town, the opposite trend. Less of a chance of you reaching 60, and certainly not going warm into the mid-60s like some of our neighbors just to our south and east. Looking more likely you all will stay in the mid to upper 50s from Rome through Summerlee and Tryon and Chattooga County, LJ, Helen, Blue Ridge up in Fannin County, Clay County, North Carolina, Raven County, Clayton, Lake Burton, Lake Raven. If you're spending the day up there and prep for holiday week next week, it's going to be a chilly day. And right now you're battling more clouds than anyone else, but improvement as we go into the afternoon in that department. Wesley Millsap is streaming from Ackworth. Hello to you, Wesley. Thanks for tuning in, for watching Weather Where You Are. And much like Wesley, if you have a weather question, comment, concern, feel free to watch, to stream on YouTube. And you can ask questions there, and hopefully I'll see him in time to give you that answer. And if not, we'll scrub back through the feed and make sure that we didn't miss anything. You can also text us, 470-777-WANF. That's 470-777-9263. Maybe you have some of those videos and photos of the beautiful rainbows we saw yesterday evening, the crazy clouds and some of the quick bursts of rain and wind. You can also share what you're seeing weather-wise by texting photos and videos to that number, and you may see it on an Atlanta News First Plus stream or even on Atlanta News First. So back to the forecast as we head deeper into the afternoon and early evening. It's going to be a nice one out there, a little bit on the chilly side for those that have students that they're picking up at the bus stop. Not a bad afternoon, even to get that walk-in to walk back home. Hour-by-hour forecast has temperatures warming into the mid to upper 50s as an average around the metro. Of course, it's a large metro. There will be a difference in temperature between, let's say, Fayette County and up in Canton County. But in general, a nice walk home. Clouds really confined to east and northeast Georgia. Most of us breaking out at almost full sunshine, especially from Atlanta on westward. No weather woes, no issues, but it will be a little on the chilly side. Hopefully have a light jacket with them. Probably do, considering how chilly it was this morning. Speaking of chilly, though, let's talk about your heat forecast. The need to turn the heat on. You're probably going to have the heat on tomorrow morning. Temperatures back in the 30s tomorrow morning, and that 39 is for the city of Atlanta. That means that outlying areas, if you're outside of I-285, probably will be a handful of degrees colder than that. And, in reality, though, with temperatures in the 50s, that heat will probably run all day long, depending on how much of a draft you have at your place. Saturday and Sunday, temperatures colder. That heat will be running for sure. Mornings in the 20s to near 30. Afternoons stuck in the 40s. And there will be a breeze. So if you're outside, it's going to feel even colder because the cold and the wind kind of working in tandem there, looking like the heat will be staying on through the weekend. And also a good weekend if you have a fireplace to go ahead and use it. Again, Saturday is a first alert weather day because of the more drastic drop in temperature. Notice Saturday, 40s versus 50s to near 60, and the winds will be making it feel even chillier than that. Wind chills likely, Saturday morning back in the low to mid 20s. Sunday morning, wind chills also probably in the low to mid 20s, and it'll feel like it's in the 30s as we go through the afternoon hours. So the reason for the first alert weather day Saturday is because of that kind of more drastic change in temperature. We're going to wake up to colder weather after a pretty nice Friday afternoon. Breeze, of course, as mentioned, adding to the cold. Dry weather and sunshine, though, not forecasting any sort of rain impacts or anything like that to Christmas weekend or the weekend before Christmas. But it will be cold. Purely a temperature first alert weather day. Excuse me. 7-day forecast, laid it all out for you. Temperatures this afternoon, 59 to 60. Another little step down tomorrow, partly cloudy, and it will be breezier tomorrow. Some of those winds are even going to start kicking up tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, so do keep that in mind. It's going to be feeling even chillier with temperatures in the 50s. I know some of the wind yesterday knocked down a ton of leaves, so if you have family coming into town, probably want to get that yard nice and clean and well kept before company arrives. And if you want to do that today and tomorrow, not bad days to do the yard, but today is actually probably the better day with the winds a little bit lighter. And unfortunately, if you get everything picked up, hopefully all of your leaves have come down because Friday we're going to have a little bit more wind, and some of that wind could linger into Saturday. By then your family is already coming to visit, so it won't be much time to get it done. First day of winter, kind of ironic here, is also Saturday, the winter solstice, December 21st. First alert weather day because of the cold. Even though it's just as cold, if not a little colder, Sunday. Saturday is kind of the first day that you need all the winter wear, and you're going to use it again Sunday. You're probably going to use it again Monday, especially Monday morning with a widespread hard freeze in the first alert forecast. Christmas Eve is dry. And then we have Christmas Day and also the first day of Hanukkah. Temperatures back in the mid to upper 50s, some near 60. So we're warming up. But that also comes with a rain chance. Kind of a complicated forecast here. And I want to bring up a forecast model, basically a supercomputer's take on how the weather is going to evolve over the next several days. Some of these computers go out 16 days. Not going to forecast or look that far out, but as far as Christmas is concerned, we'll take you there. Again, kind of giving you a regional picture. And this is just one run, one forecast model. This type of model is run 4 different times a day. So just keep in mind that there will likely still be some fluctuations. So starting next Tuesday at 10 a.m., that's Christmas Eve at 10 a.m., we are dry. There is no rain forecast on radar. This is, of course, not actual radar. This is what a computer thinks radar might look like. I'm going to adjust the time here to make sure we're going the right direction. I want to show you the entirety of Christmas Day. Here we are, 1 p.m. Tuesday, Christmas Eve, nothing going on. And then as we get into Wednesday, again, that would be Christmas Day. Not much going on, but by 5 p.m., notice a few showers there, kind of faded out into North Alabama. There is some moisture on this particular forecast model, but it's not depicting any rain in North Georgia, none in the city of Atlanta, nor Covington, nor Eatonton, nor LaGrange, nor Ellijay. Again, no matter where you are, this particular forecast model keeps conditions dry as we go through Christmas Day. That is the European forecast model, one of a few that we look at. But just to show you the inconsistency and why there is uncertainty in the forecast, it all has to do with the evolution of an area of low pressure that is to our west. And If it moves slower, rain will hold off a little longer. If it moves more quickly, we may have to bump up that chance of rain on Christmas Day. I want to go ahead and show you another forecast model that we use, though. Again, we're going to bring you back through the same time period. We will start it 10 a.m. Tuesday. Big view here, going to zoom down in, bring you back to North Georgia. And again, Tuesday, we're pretty dry through 9 p.m., so mostly dry on both forecast models through Tuesday. So that is why we're very confident in Tuesday, Christmas Eve's forecast at the moment. And there's no rain chance in the forecast. It'll be chilly, it'll be cool, clouds increasing. Watch what happens as we get into Christmas Day on this particular forecast model. It does want to bring in a little bit more in the way of moisture, or rain, especially as we get into Wednesday or Christmas Day afternoon on into Wednesday. This forecast model is depicting widespread light rain. Now, it's just one of many, and others are saying not so fast. Don't think that's going to happen, and it's all because of a very extra complicated setup to our west, a slow-moving, maybe potentially stalling area of low pressure, but at some point it's going to get the memo and it's going to start moving again, and when that happens, that is when the rain chance here in North Georgia and Metro Atlanta will start to increase. But for now, again, bringing it all together, back to the First Alert 7-day forecast for now, we are going to go ahead and keep that chance of rain minimal, 30% or so, perhaps up to 40%, and we're watching it. And as soon as we know, you'll know, as we like to say. If it looks like weather will impact those Christmas plans, we'll put on that First Alert Weather Day. But for now, the chance looks relatively low for everything to come together just right to deliver a wet or impactful weather sort of Christmas day. So we're going to be watching it, fine-tuning that forecast, and again, actually, we're going to bring you up to the right graphic here, the right 7-day forecast. Give me just one moment so you're not confused by the dates here. Again, Saturday is the First Alert Weather Day, Christmas Eve Tuesday, Christmas Day, and first day of Hanukkah Wednesday. We're warming up, but there is something to watch. If it does trend wetter, the forecast is mentioned, we'll put on that First Alert Weather Day. Give you the first alert, let you know that, hey, weather might have you adjusting some of your plans. I want to thank you for tuning in and for watching. Wherever you are, want to remind you that First Alert meteorologist Ella Dorsey is going to be taking over at Atlanta News First at noon today for First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez. She'll have the latest forecast for you, walking you hour by hour, day by day. Closer look at that Christmas forecast as well, coming up in about 15 minutes on Atlanta News First.